Okay, how to use a quadrant, take 2. We went outside yesterday and we started using our quadrants. And you guys didn't know which way to put it, which way to hold it, and that's a good thing. I wanted you to investigate your tool. I came by and gave you some clues about a 90-degree angle. So, like this. And so your object wasn't at 90 degrees, it wasn't at your zenith. And so then we cut that angle in half at 45. The object was below that, and then we cut the 45 in half to be 23 and a half, and your object was above it. So then you knew your measurement was going to be between 23 and a half and 45. Again, something to get you to start investigating your tool. Now, when you use your quadrant, you're actually going to turn it this way, and you're going to line up the gun sights on your object. So I always close one eye, and let's say I'm measuring the light on the wall. You can see how your string and your weight is falling down. You hold the string onto the measurement, and this has a measurement of about 25 and a half. So again, to review, instead of holding it like this, you're going to hold it like this. You're going to line up your objects. Again, I'm going to do the light in the room and close one eye, and I'm going to line up the object in the 2 gun sights. And then I'm going to hold the string in place. Oh, it's on the wrong side. Hold the string in place and take my measurement. Now I'm going to show you several ways to make your quadrant better. The first thing is taping a heavier thing, something with more mass, onto your weight. We're using a star. So if you tape something on here, it's going to help the string fall straighter and easier for you to hold it on there to make your measurements. I wouldn't use a quarter, because if someone found it in the hallway, they're going to take your quarter and go buy something in the vending machine. I use a penny, that's about right. Make sure you put your name on the back of your quadrant in case it falls out of your notebook and someone can bring it back to me. Okay, that's one way to make this one better. If you want to make it even better, since you're going to have an observing project, I'm going to take mine. I've taken it apart a little bit. I didn't make my string long enough, so I had to make a longer string. I'm going to tie my star. Should have tied my star earlier. Curses. At least this gives you time to tie your star. You don't have to use a star. You can simply tape the weight on. And then I'm going to put the quarter on one side. I'm going to tape it. I didn't have a penny, or I would have used a penny. And then I put the quadrant on cardboard. Now, to make this better, we're going to use a straw instead of the sights. So I'm going to cut off the sights. Okay, I've poked a hole into the cardboard. I actually used a compass, one of the old compasses that are in the room. And then I'm going to thread our star in there. Now you might have trouble getting the string through there. Here's a tip from crafting and sewing. Take a little piece of tape, put it on the end, and then twist it around. And then you can take the tape and push it through the hole. I didn't twist it enough. And then, oh, my star fell off. Okay, so I'll tie this end and I'll put my star back on. I only made 1 loop, so I'll make 2. So we're going to pretend that my star is still on. And we're going to take the straw, and you're going to want it to be on the top of your quadrant. You're going to want it to be solidly on the top, not hanging off to the side, not hanging to the back. You want it to be resting on the top of your quadrant. Okay? Then you want to cut your straw to be at the end of your quadrant. So you want it to be about the same length. And I'm going to start by putting some Scotch tape on. Scotch tape is a little weaker than duct tape or packing tape. And then I'm going to use some stronger tape. I'm going to use some duct tape. So that's going to hold my straw on the top of my quadrant. Now instead of lining up my sides, I can cover one eye and I can put the object into the circle of the straw, which makes it a little easier. And again, I would hold down the straw. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong way, wasn't I? So you're going to line it up into the side, and then again you'll measure where your straw is hanging down. So you have a piece of cardboard instead. You cut off the sides. You make sure that your straw is resting on the top of the cardboard, not on the sides, because it helps your measurement. So then you can see how you can see through the straw. You would line up your object. Let's line up one of those dots. You would line it up in your sight, and then you would take your measurement on your string. Okay? I hope this helps. You're going to do 4 stars. They're in Orion. Orion should be pretty easy to see in the sky. You have his belt stars, you have the sash stars, you have his shoulders, and then you have his knees. Remember, you need to find Rigel and Betelgeuse and describe them. One's red, one's blue. There's also the Orion Nebula. It's by his sash, and it's going to be a whitish blue object for you to look at. If you look at it with your naked eye, you might use averted vision. So what that means is that you look at the object, and then you're going to turn your vision just a little bit, and then you ought to be able to see the object in your peripheral vision. So again, you're going to look at the object, and then you're going to turn just a little bit away from it, and you ought to be able to see it out of the corner of your eye. If you have a pair of binoculars, look at Betelgeuse and Orion, and also look for that nebula. So I'll see you soon.